Apparently, this girl was so ugly, she bought a new face for over $30,000, which it's it's interesting, but also like really sad that like you feel so uncomfortable with what you have that you pay crazy amounts of money to completely change your face, right? Like to have like such like little love for yourself is like a really sad thing to see. But let's get into it. Like I hope people don't resort to this. Like I hope like you like yourself at least to some degree. So she took makeover to a whole new level. A woman admitted to spending more than $30,000 on a new face because she claims she was ugly. But now that she's enhanced her face, Mia Dio says her face doesn't move and she doesn't even recognize herself anymore. In a YouTube video with 819,000 views, Dio shared all the cosmetic treatments she has gotten done with her 78,000 followers. She started off the video by saying she couldn't care less about the haters. Before you judge me, I don't really care because based off this video, I am obviously my worst judge, she said. You cannot outjudge me more than I have judged myself in this life. And the thing is, I would agree with that statement. But like again, to me, this just like it just makes me sad, right? Because it's basically like someone who resorts to this basically had like a hatred for what they looked like before. Like they literally hated what they looked like before. So Dio describes herself as going from being botched to Barbie. The YouTuber shared that she actually started with beauty enhancements at a young age, and the first thing she did was get lip filler at 16 years old, and she had to use a fake ID to do so. Like, this makes me sad, right? Like, you hated your body at 16 to that extent? Man. After she got her first filler, she claims she got addicted to lip filler and kept going back for more, wanting to look like a Bratz doll. And here's the thing, from what I've seen from like documentaries about the whole plastic surgery type of industry and all that kind of stuff, one, those doctors make crazy amounts of money, but two, pretty much none of these patients, these clients, ever stop at one, ever stop at just a few. They like are never content with whatever it is that they got, right? So like for example, someone who gets like a nose job to fix their nose because they have a problem breathing, because maybe they get like a deviated septum or whatever, right? Like for example, I can't really breathe out of my nose. If I were to get surgery on it, I'd just stop it because it fixed the issue that I would probably care about. But so many people that end up going down this plastic surgery route get the nose surgery, get eye surgery, get jaw surgery, get like whatever sort of plastic surgery, get rid of crow's feet, like change their hairline, suck out fat. Like it's crazy. Like they just don't stop. They don't stop. That's why you end up seeing things like people who don't even look like humans anymore. They literally look like dolls. So she admitted that at the time she started getting filler, she was opting for the cheapest available option, so her lips were lumpy, not moving, and way too big for her face. People told her to slow down, but Dio suggested she had some type of lip filler dysmorphia, where her pout never looked big enough to her. What's crazy is like she looks different on like this photo than this photo. Interesting. When she was 19, she got some of her filler dissolved and ended up with her current lips. After getting the filler dissolved in random spots, she had to go get her lips evened out as she had been making them look even with makeup for about a year and a half. Dio stuck to just lip fillers for a while, but after her high school graduation, she had enough money to get her nose done, which cost her $5,000. The result looks so much like my natural nose, just a little bit more angular, which basically just snatched my face up, she said of her nose job. Hmm. Okay, so I guess this is like where she had like lumpy lips and then got to there. Interesting. So after her rhinoplasty, Dio chilled with the cosmetic procedures for a while until she started getting Botox. Now, Dio regularly gets baby Botox on her forehead. Baby Botox is a preventative treatment while regular Botox is corrective, according to Cosmetic Skin Clinic. But what's also kind of crazy, like Botox is quite literally like poison. Like it's like literally poison. Dio claims she has a very expressive face and is always making faces at the camera, and she started to notice she had a few lines starting to mark her forehead. So she got Botox to make her forehead smooth, and she noticed it and also lifted her eyebrows up. She also started experimenting with the Fox eye lift, where they put thread under your skin and pull the skin up, giving you like a ponytail facelift. Interesting. Although this was really fun to experiment with, the results don't last long at all. At most, you see the results for 3 months, Dio explained. Apparently, if you keep on doing it, the skin underneath your skin scars enough that maybe it'll just stay like that. Yeesh. And apparently, this is her before her procedures at 14. Interesting. Although this hasn't stopped Dio from getting the procedure done, she admitted that she still gets the Fox eye lift for special occasions when she wants to look super snatched. What does super snatched mean? So clearly it hasn't scared me away or there's something seriously wrong with me, she quipped. Next, Dio got her teeth done after messaging a dental clinic in Bodrum, Turkey on TikTok, where Dio has 5.2 million followers that have worked with influencers. She got 20 porcelain veneers, no crowns. It did not have to shave her teeth into shark teeth. And since she's an influencer, she got a discount on the procedure but shared that it normally would have cost $5,500, which would include the treatment, hotel, and VIP luxury transportation. But flights to Turkey are not covered in the price, which Dio said was a minimum of $1,000 per person. This was it for a while until she met a celebrity injector in Miami, Florida, who she calls Dr. Ron. She reached out to him, and when he asked what she wanted to get done, she said, whatever he recommends. This is like probably a plastic surgeon's dream. Like, oh, yes, let me just have like endless amounts of procedures on you that I could just say, like, oh, you could do this to look better. Oh, you could do this to look better. 5 grand, 10 grand, 15 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, 30 grand. Like, it's just crazy. Like, the plastic surgery, I believe, is not covered by insurance, so you're basically paying out of pocket for pretty much all of this. She noted that as she did everything Dr. Ron suggested, her face was already completely numb, so she didn't feel anything that was done to her. And like, can you imagine that like your whole face would be numb? Like you just literally feel nothing, nothing at all. That seems insane to me. So like say like you got like a partner or something, if they were to touch your face, nothing. If you got a pet and they like rub their head against your face, nothing. Like who would want to live like that? So they retouched her Botox, got under eye filler, added a little bit of filler in her cheekbones, put threads under her skin to lift up her cheek fat and tuck it back, which she does about every 10 months. Dio also recently got jaw Botox, which was recommended to her by her dentist to help with teeth grinding. And the final procedure did was surgical, and on her face, she got a boob job, which took her from an A cup to double D's. But Dio stressed that while she definitely finds herself to be more confident now, and it personally helped her, is not necessarily a band-aid for low confidence. I think it's important to note that cosmetic procedures or plastic surgery aren't meant to be a one-size-fits-all for self-esteem issues, she said, although it can help. Well, at least she basically warned, like, hey, It probably ain't going to actually help you. So, where do these people get all the money for these procedures? Uh, who knows? Let's see. What my ex used to do was doctor shop. Go from doctor to doctor until you get what you want. To try and find a doctor that can be convinced that your procedure is medically necessary and then is mostly covered by your health insurance. If that doesn't work, then you just go to the bank and get a loan. Sad, I guess, but that's how it's done. Like, imagine going into debt to completely change your appearance surgically to the point where you don't even recognize yourself. You don't go 20 grand, 30 grand into debt to change your face. You're going to get 10 grand in debt to like get a boob job. You can get 10 grand in debt for, I don't know, full body laser hair removal or something like that. Saying shame, she felt the need to change. She wasn't ugly before the surgeries. The person says, Amen. This is why dogs are so great. Always happy to see you each morning and after you come back from running errands or from work, like they haven't seen you in weeks. Will give you their unconditional love, morning, noon, or night, as you age, no matter how you look in the mirror. Skip the expensive cosmetic procedures, get a good dog. Yeah, I mean, I gotta agree with this comment. Like, I don't think there's really anything better than a dog because they just care about you. Let's see. Getting the teeth done in nose actually makes some sense, but the rest of it is pretty darn awful. Vanity. Interesting. Feel free to give your thoughts if you stumble upon this. I just thought it was interesting that like someone would go and spend 30K and like just literally buy a face and technically a body too.